Welcome to the Fit Affiliate Podcast, where with honesty and transparency, we talk about all things fitness, coaching, and gym ownership, so that you can feel less crazy and frustrated and alone, while you also find more freedom and make more money.
And we're back with the Fit Affiliate Podcast, and today I have Michael, who is the Director of Growth for Fit Affiliate. How you going, Michael?
I'm pretty good, Lisa. How are you?
Good, man, good. So I thought it'd be great to have you on and have a chat to you a little bit about the growth space, because I know that a lot of affiliate owners get a bit lost in that in regards to ads and paid ads, or, where they should rank on Google, and all that sort of stuff gets a bit overwhelming and confusing. And you can, throw a lot of money down the chute in potentially the wrong areas.
For sure.
Just to kick off, though, do you want to give us a little bit on your background and where you've come from?
Sure. So I've been in the digital marketing space now for roughly about 6 years. I've probably spent year to date, over $26 million in paid ads. I started with a company that I won't say the name, but I was head of research or head of marketing research development for that company. That's kind of where I've learned the ropes and learned how to do all paid advertisement and everything like that. And I've specifically, over the past 6 years, have worked with the fitness industry.
Yep, awesome. And you're a new CrossFitter too.
I am. I'm a new CrossFitter. I've been going to Crossfit Gym now for about a month now.
Yeah, which affiliate are you at? Give them a shout out.
They're called Max 3 right here in Buda, Texas.
Fantastic. And you're enjoying it?
I love it, actually. I used to go just normal to the gym, right? Pick up heavy stuff and put it down. And then really wasn't seeing any changes. And, talking with all of the affiliates that I help do growth with, they were like, you got to try it. So I gave it a try, and now I fell in love.
Drank the Kool-Aid, man.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, all of it.
Fantastic. So in this space, we talk a lot about, trying to give affiliate owners some information or some guidance on areas that can be tricky to navigate. One of those is growth. And I know for myself, and I know that through our conversations, that it's been a difficult challenge for me to get my head around, like, when you realize that everything you have been doing may have been wrong, or it was getting no results, but you just kept throwing money at the wall. So from your experience and also like with working with Fit Affiliate now, what do you think some of the biggest mistakes are that affiliate owners make in regard to either their thinking around growth or how they think about it, and also then what they do about that, how they approach it with advertising?
I think one of the biggest mistakes that affiliate owners make is they don't understand the importance of being on social media platforms. A lot of people, when they come into growth with me, like the first thing that we have to do is start looking at like their Facebook, their Instagram, TikTok, so on and so forth, and like really go into the insights to see what's going on. And there's not a whole lot of organic traffic that's going on there. And that's before you build a house, right? You have to build the foundation. And, putting your presence on social media is the foundation. That's where it really starts to have, on the back end for your paid ads and paid traffic and your SEO and everything to be good. You have to build a presence. Just because you're on there and just because you're on there doesn't mean that people are going to come find you. You have to be proactive, posting. Through our conversations, we've talked about that. Posting is key. And I've seen a lot of people come into growth, and you go to their Facebook or their Instagram page, and it's just empty.
Yep. And it's not, if I'm an affiliate owner sitting there thinking, oh, well, I usually just post one picture every so often, or an update for my members or whatever on my pages, it's not too late to change that either, is it? You can get some organic traffic quite quickly as soon as you start activating it more. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course. So if I always tell people you want to post at least 2 to 3 times a day, right? And you want to post engaging questions, something you want to post things that are engaging, right? Member highlights. What are your biggest struggles on meal prep? What are your biggest struggles of getting up in the morning and coming to the gym, right? Because when everybody hears CrossFit, they automatically think, oh, those are athletes. I'm not, that's a little rough for me. I'm gonna go to this little gym. I'm gonna go 24-hour fitness where it's not as intense, right? So being able to put that message out there that, hey, CrossFit is not for just athletes, it's for the common person, right? If you're trying to lose weight, CrossFit is actually, in my opinion, I think CrossFit is one of the best things to lose weight, right? But
Yeah.
how are people going to know that? Unless you are proactively letting them know that you're sharing posts of, maybe you had somebody that was overweight that came in and was a success story. Why aren't you putting stuff like that out to let the general public know that, hey, it can happen for you too. You don't have to be an athlete to come here. So if you start posting today, do 2 times a day, and watch the insights and watch the organic traffic start to grow. Now, are we talking about you're going to get 100 people off of organic traffic? No, that's not what that is about. You're looking at, you'll probably get, 7, 10 people interested a month just from posting. And I know for a lot of gyms, 7 to 10 new leads a month is really good for them because they don't have that kind of foot traffic coming in.
That's yeah, and it's amazing. Like when you go through the process, understanding some of the stuff. Like before working with you, I'd never looked at things like the insights or the demographic of the people who are looking at my socials, where they are, even what time they're most active. Like that's like, and that Facebook is a little bit different to Instagram, and rather than posts going out at the same time on both and all of that sort of stuff. It once you learn how to poke around in that space, you can actually learn a lot for yourself without having to, these gimmicky marketing companies that ring affiliate owners all the time. And I fell for it, not long ago, where it's like, oh, we'll get you on Google and you pay out a lot of money and you get nothing. It's, nothing's generating from it. And they tell you, oh, we'll get you 100 leads and there's 250 people looking for CrossFit in your area now. And it can get confusing. There's a lot of things that you can do without throwing money away.
Of course, yeah. There's a lot, especially nowadays in the digital marketing space, there is a lot of misinformation and misleading people. When you were talking about insights, if you go into insights and you start looking, you can literally tell what your audience likes and what they don't like, and you can start catering to your audience. One thing that I do want to say that a lot of gym owners make a mistake on is they post what they want. They post what they think is right. That is the worst thing that you could do. Go into your insights and go look at where your engagement is, whether it's likes, comments, shares, so on and so forth. Go look at those insights and you'll be able to tell exactly what your audience likes. And then that's when you start catering to them. That's when you start getting more engagement. You start getting more comments. You start getting more shares. The more that happens, the wider your reach gets.
Yeah, and that's a simple thing that everyone can just go and look at and spend an hour educating themselves on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about a little bit about paid advertising, because that's a big thing. And I know that when I first opened, I would just go down the path of boosting posts, which I know makes your eyes water and your head explode a little bit.
Yeah, I cringe.
Yeah, and you throw money into the Facebook machine and hope it spits something back out with you, because it'll, if you're boosting something, it'll tell you, 100,000 people are going to see this and da 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 da, and you think, oh well, surely I'll get somebody out of that, and there's nothing. Do you want to talk about some of the mistakes people make around, and maybe some ways, different things that they can think about in regard to paid advertising, or even getting their head around the idea of, paying for ads to go out there, whether it be Facebook or Google or whatever?
Yeah. So don't ever boost a post. It is more for a bigger brand, like let's say Coca-Cola, right? Who has millions of followers on their Facebook page, right? They boost a post that goes out to, you know, a little over a million people. When a affiliate owner who has maybe, 300-400 people that are following him or her, that when you boost that post, that's who it's going out to.
Mm.
Sure, it will go out to a few other people, so on and so forth, but the majority of a boost post, it goes out to the people who are following you.
Mm.
And those people that are already following you, either A, they've already been a member of your gym, or number two, they are a member of your box.
Yeah.
That's really it. Go into your business manager. It always surprises me when people they're like, yeah, I spend like $10, $20 a day on boosting posts. Like, why don't you just go into the business manager and create an ad on the back end where you can actually target who you want and put that $10 to $20 a day in paid ads.
Mm.
Don't ever boost post, because when you're on the business manager side of things, you can narrow it down to, this I want the soccer mom who is married, who has kids, who's college educated, so on and so forth. There are so many different variations that you can
Mm.
target people. And a lot of people miss that you have a little thing on the background that runs on Facebook that's called a pixel. A lot of people don't understand what the pixel is. A pixel is something that is tracking, excuse me, that tracks the traffic coming into your ad, right? When you're doing a boost post, your pixel's not tracking that. And what the pixel does, it allows the ad and the algorithm to further target people who are engaging with the ad also. So if, let's say, I engage with an ad and then there's another person who is like me out there, that ad is going to start showing up to that person, and then the next person, so on and so forth, instead of a boosting post where it just goes out to just these people.
Mm. So you just talked there a little bit about the algorithm, and I know there's a lot of urban myths out there
Mhm.
that people have cracked the algorithm or they know how Facebook is thinking. Talk a little on that, because I know that we've spoken about it. Is it true that the algorithm that Facebook uses constantly changes?
Yes, the algorithm is constantly going to change, right? Think of the algorithm as something that's an AI. It's constantly learning, right? So the
Yeah,
algorithm is constantly learning also.
yeah,
But Facebook, Instagram, right? Well, let's call it Meta, because Meta owns both Facebook and Instagram
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Um, so the algorithm, or Meta rewards people for using their platform, right? Have you ever been scrolling on your timeline and then, like, one of the first things that pops up is a post from somebody or a business or an ad that was put out, 3 or 4 days ago?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
ever wondered why that is showing up at the top of your feed?
yeah,
It is because of the algorithm, right? You are
yeah,
rewarded for being active on the platform. So
mm,
let's say, then this is one of the reasons why I tell owners, hey, post 2 to 3 times a day, right?
mm,
Because the algorithm will start realizing that, or start seeing that. And the higher up on the timeline you will be, and which makes more people start seeing your content
mm-hmm,
or
yeah,
your ads.
yeah. So is that, and I know I've experienced it, but I'm just going to ask this as somebody, at ground zero, the
Mm-hmm.
benefit of having somebody like you working with them and nutting out that stuff. And there's a lot of companies that offer that. And I've been down that path a lot, but, working with you has given me certainly more clarity around it, more transparency than I've ever had before. But what are the benefits in working with somebody like yourself to navigate the minefield that is and can be very daunting. I know the first time I went into ads manager, I was like, I don't know what I'm clicking, and like you saw all of those ads I created, you're like, what? It's scattergun. So what's the benefit in having someone engaging a professional in this space to take you through that process?
Yeah, I mean, so the benefit of it is someone like me who can actually understand and read the data, right? You just said when you went into the business manager, you're like, whoa, this is kind of daunting. I don't know what any of this means,
Mm.
right? The benefit of having someone like me is I can read that data and I can tell you exactly, like when we first got on, I was like, oh, look, your CPLs or your click through rate or this or that, it's not good. And you're like, I don't even know what that means. So having someone like myself, and it doesn't have to be myself, there are plenty of me's out there, but having someone like that will be able to help you navigate through all of the data and all of the stats and what it actually really means. And then that will actually, what does it mean that translates to have on ROI, right? Because that's what we're all after. We're after an ROI. If I put $1 in, I want $2 back. So having someone like that is beneficial, right? Because gym owners are not marketers, right? They're just not, right? So you have me to help you with ad copy, help you with funnel conversions, and then actually reading the data.
Yep.
So, and there is a lot of, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There are a lot of scam people out there that will, hey, it's $1,500 a month and you're with them for a month and then you leave, right? So they're just after that quick buck. The most important thing is when looking for someone that's going to help you navigate through that, make sure that they're transparent. Make sure that they actually know what they're doing. Get a second opinion. Read reviews about people.
Yep. So, I mean, to bring it to something relatable for affiliate owners who are watching or listening to this, it's not unlike what happens when a new member comes to their gym. They don't know what they need in the fitness space. They don't understand a lot of the terms, and they don't know what they're doing necessarily, and they want someone to guide them. So it's very much having a coach for themselves in that area, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, when you're a coach giving PT, I'm a coach for your marketing.
Yeah.
I've had affiliate owners say, hey, I'm going to hire this guy to run ads. Can you sit in on the meeting with me? Yeah,
Yep.
of course. Let's sit down. And then that's when I get to ask those questions like, okay, what's your average CPL right now? Oh, it's about $3. Okay, well, show me. Let's go look at the back end. And then,
Yep.
oh no, yeah, I don't want to show you that. Yeah, because excuse my language, but you're full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right, man. You need to do that research. And I've fallen down that hole many times, particularly, I know a lot of affiliate owners in the last couple of years, business is hard with, COVID and all sorts of other things going on in the world. If someone's promising you something at the time you need it most, you're like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna jump on that.
exactly.
So when we're talking about investing in a marketing campaign, sometimes it can be daunting going, well, how much do I throw at it? How long's a piece of string? Can you give us some sort of outline on what, if you go for an average campaign, like what sort of investment is going to generate a return for you, depending on the campaign you're running, clearly, but that it doesn't have to be, some affiliate owners will think you have to throw millions of dollars at ads, but where are you in that space? What do you see?
So it depends on what you're doing, right? If you have someone like me running your ads, I would definitely start with a higher budget, right? Because I know how to scale and I know how to do all the back end stuff. Now, if you're starting by yourself, please, if you're starting by yourself, don't go no more than $10, $15 a day, right? Because so many people hop on and they read these gurus websites or they listen to these gurus podcasts and everything like that. And I've seen people who have never run ads before hop in and throw $100 a day at it when you don't know what you're doing. And then they come to me and they're like, well, I spent, $1,000 in 2 weeks and I got nothing back. All right, well, let's go look at your ad account. Oh, well, you were running traffic ads. You weren't running conversion ads, or you were running this type of ad when you should have been running this one. So always run conversion ads. If you're just starting out, start at $10, $15 a day and do lead generation campaigns. Don't do conversions because there's a whole bunch of stuff on the back end that you have to do now with Facebook, with aggregated events, your pixel. I can go on and confuse you, but I won't do that. So just start with a lead generation ad. It's super simple to run. Make sure you got some good ad copy. Make sure you got some good creative. What I'm seeing right now, creative wise, is group pictures, people working out in the gym in groups, group videos, stuff like that. And just make sure that, you're keeping an eye on it. If you are 3 days in and, your cost per lead is at, $20, $30, it's not working. And go ahead and turn it off and go back to the drawing board.
Yep. So that cost per lead number, like on average, if you're running a successful campaign, like what should an affiliate owner be looking at as, okay, this is doing okay, or yes, this is giving me good value? I know it changes. I know.
It definitely does. It definitely fluctuates with the market also, depending on what time of year, because you have big boys, you have the big players that come in on certain times of year that drives ad cost up. But typically a $10 to $15 range is actually, it's good.
Yep.
Now, when you have someone like me running your ads, a typical, so if you hire someone to run your ads, they should be in between $7 to $12 per lead.
Yep. Because you get that you know how to optimize the ads.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
You know how to scale them. You know how to, I'm going to allocate funds here and we're going to do this. And then I'm going to create these audiences. I'm going to create a lookalike audience, so on and so forth. There's so much that you could do on the back end to optimize and scale. But if you're just going at it alone, and I would do a 3-day cycle, start with $10, $15 a day every 3 days. If you are not getting the lead cost that you want, kill the campaign and go back to the drawing board.
Yep. Okay. So we've gone through the process of, what affiliate owners should be wary of and, things to consider. If I'm a new affiliate opening, tomorrow, or I'm a 10-year affiliate and I've never gone this path, can you give me a couple of things that I can do, like some tips to consider if I decided, okay, well, I've watched this chat, I'm going to go dig around a little bit in my back end and try some marketing. Have you got a few quick tips that could get somebody started, down this pathway?
Yes. Go on YouTube and do a little research before you just jump in, right? Familiarize yourself with Facebook Ad Manager. That way you have some kind of knowledge. You have enough knowledge just to be dangerous, right? Don't just wake up in the morning and be like, hey, I'm going to run some ads today. Don't do that. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Go do a little research. And then, look at, so every Facebook page has a thing on it called page transparency. If you scroll down and you look at the page transparency, and you can go look at other gyms in your area, or if you know gyms, anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world for that matter, if you go to they're running ads, go to their page transparency. Go look at some of the ads that people are running. That'll start giving you an idea of like, okay, this is what I need to do as far as ad copy and creative, right? Go do some research. Spend 3 or 4 days doing that. Once you've done that, then just look up a YouTube video on how to set up a ad account. Do that. And then, like I said, start at $10, $15 a day, do it in a 3-day cycle. Because And I say do it in a 3-day cycle because a lot of gym owners don't know how to optimize ads. But usually 48 to 72 hours, that's when someone like myself will start looking at it on how to optimize. Like, okay, are we doing good, or is this campaign not doing so well? What do we need to optimize? What do we need to do on the back end to continue to have this campaign be successful? So, and that's a whole different subject. But if you're just going to go out there, start running ads, do it in a 3-day cycle. If you're doing good, if your ad cost is in between that $10 to $15 range, leave it alone. Don't touch it. But if it's above that, if you're looking at $20, $30 per lead, kill that campaign ASAP and then go back to the drawing board. Also, we just talked about it in our call earlier. A lot of people think that, oh, if I do a 28-day challenge, or if I do a 6-week challenge, or if I do this, or if I do that, I have to sell exactly that. You don't, right? I want everybody out there listening, think of marketing as something you are just putting on a hook to bait people with, right? You're throwing it out and you're reeling it in, right? Because we know affiliates, Lisa, you and I, we know affiliates that run 28-day challenges, and then they're bringing them in and they're selling the packages for $1,500, right? So I want everybody out there, don't get too caught up on what the ad copy says. You just want something that is going to be scroll stopping, eye catching, and something that's going to be like make someone super interested about what you're offering.
Yep. Cool. Or for a busy affiliate owner, they can reach out to an organization like Fit Affiliate and have you do all that chasing around for them.
Yeah, of course. They can always reach out, and we're always happy to help.
Yep. And that's been the most valuable thing for me is quantifying what's my time worth and what's my skill set. I'm not in marketing, so that's why we started working together, because I could spend ages and still waste a lot of money.
Yeah,
versus getting
you can definitely
a good
go
return.
down the rabbit hole.
yeah, and it is a big rabbit hole, and I know I've thrown a lot of money at the wall and just hope it's stuck, and because you see what everyone else is doing, so you think, oh yeah, that's what I have to do.
I mean, and like I said, it's time consuming. Running ads is very time consuming. And like I said, gym owners are not marketers, right? There's so much other stuff that a gym owner has to worry about than ads, right? And if you are really going to sit down and take that time to run ads, I mean, you're looking at, 2 or 3 hours every couple of days that you're sitting down looking at these results, if not every day, keeping an eye on what's going on, right? Because you don't want to lose money. So you want to be checking that every day. So it's just like Tony says, you can exchange time or you can exchange money. Which one do you want to do?
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Mike. So just before we wrap up, like, what's one piece of advice that you can give to an affiliate owner they can take away and action today if they're not happy with where they're at or the way that they think about their growth? What's something that you would sum up with before we wrap it up?
Call me.
Come on, yeah. I endorse that totally. Is to reach out to Fit Affiliate. They're on Instagram.
One piece of advice I can give to affiliate owners is, like I said earlier, do your research. Don't just hop in and start running ads yourself. Do a little research before you do it. If you are going to hire a digital marketing agency, make sure you do your homework on them also. If you know somebody around you that runs ads and they can't do it for you, have them sit in on those meetings, or do a little research so you can ask them those questions. And I will tell you this, before I came to Fit Affiliate, I owned my own digital marketing agency. And the reason why we were successful, not only because we actually knew what we were doing and everything like that, but I never did a sales call. It was just hopping on there, and I would let them take a peek of the back end, and I would be 100% transparent, just like I was with you. 100% transparency. Like, this is my results. This is, typically what I get. So if any digital marketing agency won't open up the back end to at least let you see stats, they're probably full of shit.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of sharks in the water, that's for sure.
Yes.
Thanks for your time, Mike. It's been great to chat to you, and I'm sure that there's been a lot of useful information that affiliate owners can take away and run with. But definitely, if people want some more information, they can reach out to Fit Affiliate. I know they're on the Instagram. Send them a DM, slide into their DMs. They'll be happy to chat to you and put you in touch with Mike anyway to maybe solve some of those headaches for you. So thanks for your time, Mike. Really enjoyed the chat.
Yes, thank you for having me.
No worries, man.